Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for always stopping by, liking, commenting and subscribing. For the new ones, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bell so that you will be notified on when I drop the next update on Can You See Me. Stay tuned on today's episode. Suchi tries to leave with colleagues after staff meeting, but Aarav stops her and says everything was going fine. Then why is she behaving weird? Suchi asks not to misuse their friendship and asks to check her message. Aarav confusedly thinks what she's talking about. His mother calls and taunts about Suchi. He checks message and stands sadly. Anandita tells Subo that she tried to get Pihu's mother case file, but could not, so she wants to hear every details from him. He enacts but agrees, showing cruel expression. Pihu eagerly waits for Suchi and asks Gopal when Bulubulu will come. Suchi comes. Pihu happily goes towards her and hugs but passes her. Suchi can't hear or see her and says she came home. Pihu tries to hug her again but passes her. Suchi shouts, "Where are you, Brutu, if you came from school or not?" Glu says he came long back. Suchi gets worried for Pihu. Pihu asks Gopal that he disappeared her. Gopal smiles and says her disappearance will get her near truth. Pihu asks what he's saying. Suchi prays to Gopal's idol to protect her Brutu and not put her in any trouble, as she already went through many troubles. She says that she thought Pihu died in an accident, but she was murdered, and why would a small child be murdered? Pihu hears that and asks Gopal what Bulubulu is saying that she can't understand. Suchi says, "Gopal, why did you punish her Brutu?" Pihu asks Gopal what punishment she did. She did not do any mistake till now. Gopal stands silently. Pihu pleads to show her everything like before and walk behind Suchi. Suchi searches Pihu in the market and pleads to come in front of her. Pihu passes Suchi repeatedly and asks her to tell who killed her. She asks if her friend killed her for stealing. Suchi continues searching. Pihu and clashes with a passing man who looks like a goon. Pihu gets afraid seeing that man and asks if he killed her. She did not take chocolate from him. She runs behind her. Pihu returns home panicking and seeing Swahan asks if he killed her. She then sees Sarita and pleads to save her and says she wants to go to Mama and tell that someone killed her even when she did not steal anything. She dials Lailan and cries, "Mama, I am Pihu. Someone killed me purposely by burning me." Gopal watches her silently. Anandita calls police and says hello. Subo snatches phone and shouts he warned her not to call anyone. Anandita says how can he keep silent being a father? That daughter was murdered. Subo shouts Pihu is also his daughter and is repenting losing her. Anandita says if she had not got that file, she would have cursed herself even now for Pihu's death. He just kept silent and tried to forget her and Pihu. Subo says he knew she would do wrong in emotions, then he can't find out who and why he or she killed Pihu. Anandita says she feels Pihu's murderer is coming towards her and knows that she doubts him or her. Subo cuts his finger anxiously hearing that and leaves. Anandita says she would get punishment for Pihu's murderer for sure. Pihu hides under bed afraid. Gopal asks why she's hiding, that she should come out. Pihu says she felt severe pain when she was burnt and does not want anyone to kill her again. Gopal says nobody can kill her again, she should come out. Pihu says she's very afraid, call Bulubulu. She told him to disappear her in anger, but he did it in real. Gopal smiles and disappears. Suchi returns home and hears Pihu crying, runs towards the room. Gopal says nobody can separate Suchi from Pihu. Suchi hugs Pihu emotionally and says she searched for her a lot. Pihu apologizes and says she got disappeared by wish and heard someone killed her. Suchi says that is not true. Pihu says she heard it. Suchi takes oath that whoever killed Pihu, she would not spare him or her. Pihu asks her not to spell murder and snatch all his dolls. Suchi says she would do the same. Aarav calls Suchi repeatedly and thinks that why she's not picking his call. Mother comes and scolds, and Aarav scolds her for sending a message to Suchi. Mom apologizes to him. He asks to stop her drama that Suchi will leave job with her mistake. Mom says she knows he loves Suchi. He says she's his colleague. He gets Sushi's call and asks Mom to go as he's got important call and excitedly picks call. Suchi asks why he called her at this time. He says he wants to meet her and clear misunderstanding. Suchi says she did not misunderstand him and everything is fine between them. They both develop feelings for each other. Next morning, Suchi takes Pihu to the office. Pihu says she's smelling laddu. Suchi says even she is smelling laddu. Aarav's mother comes and starts pampering Suchi and kisses her cheek. Pihu asks why she kisses Bulubulu. Mom asks if she did not identify her, that she is Aarav's mother. Suchi says, of course, how are you, auntie? Mom says Aarav selected such a beautiful girl. Aarav comes running and says they keep employees seeing their biodata and not their face. Mom asks Suchi when she's coming to her house, fixed date and time. Aarav forcefully takes Mom to his cabin. Pihu runs behind Mom excitedly for laddus. Mom asks Aarav why he didn't express his love for Suchi. She's putting effort instead. Pihu runs to Suchi again and shouting, Aarav loves Suchi. Suchi asks what? Pihu says auntie was telling. Suchi asks what? Pihu asks and then says Laddu's boss loves Suchi. She would go and tell that Suchi loves only her. Suchi develops feeling for Aarav and reminisces their meeting. Pihu returns to Aarav's cabin and sees Mom giving her oath and asking Aarav if he loves Suchi or not, and if he would not make Suchi her bahu or not. Pihu says if he loves Suchi, Suchi will leave job. Aarav folds finger and says he does not love Suchi. Pihu picks laddus. Mom gets sad and asks if he is sure. Aarav thinks if he says yes, Mom will print wedding cards by evening and says Suchi is very boring. And if he had loved her, he would have taken her out for coffee. Mom leaves sadly. Pihu says her friend is not boring and ties Aarav's laces together. Gopal comes and smiles and says if Pihu was not there, Aarav and Suchi would not have united and they are needed for Pihu's future. Inspector pampers his daughter and sends her for school. Anandita comes and leaves baby pampering her. Inspector gets angry and wants to bring down her child. She resists. He tries to slap her. Other police officer sees that and warns him to behave. He gets embarrassed. Anandita says her child was of same age and pleads to reopen her daughter's file. Inspector shows his arrogance as usual. Anandita says she knows what he needs. She would pay double than he is getting from Modra and give him money bundle. Says if he needs more, she would get him more money. Inspector calls Aarav and informs Anandita is trying to buy him. Aarav asks not to sell himself and do his duty. Suchi enters with foul. Pihu says Aarav laddus called her boring and he can't even go for coffee with her. Suchi asks if he said that. Aarav says he did not say anything. She says she needs his signature on file and walks towards him. He gets up and falls on her. They both fall on the floor. Gopal blindfolds Pihu. Aarav's mother walks in and gets happy seeing them together on the floor. They both get embarrassed and gets up. Anandita returns home and sees lights off. Subo says power is off as someone broke their transformer. She asks why. He shouts even after his warning she went to the police. She asks if he's spying on her. He says he is worried about her. She says if he's worried about her, he would not have gone to Singapore. He did their daughter's last rite himself. Doctor told their daughter suffered 70% burns and gave options of burning or burying body. She stumbles. He holds her in a hurry. She says as a mother she's angry. Why don't he as a father be angry? She doubts now that he is behind their daughter's murder. So she punishes Pihu and makes her do sit-ups and scolds that she took her to the office to work peacefully. So she hugs her emotionally and says she did not and says she's sure Pihu's mother must be eagerly searching the murderer. At Anandita's house, candles fall on Pihu's photo. Subo rushes and picks it, burning his hand. Anandita gets worried for him. He says he can't express his feelings and says because of her mistake, culprits would get alert and they would find them in minutes. Someone knocks on the door. Subo walks towards the door. Suchi in the office asks Pihu to go and check what her boss is doing. Pihu hesitantly walks and thinks she doesn't care what Laddu's boss is doing. Subo opens the door. Max goons embark in and holds both of them and wonders why they went to the police. One of them opens knife. Subo pleads to spare Anandita. Goons try to stab Subo. Raki knocks on the door. The goons get alert. Subo frees himself and beats goons. Goons elope through the window. Raki enters and shouts, "Who are they?" Subo scolds Anandita that because of her, the goons attacked them. Soon, she would be searching her daughter and husband's murderer. Pihu returns and tells Suchi that boss told he doesn't care if Suchi stays or goes home. Suchi asks did he and loudly says she's going home. Pihu asks why she's informing Aarav. Gopal smiles and says it is love. Pihu asks what? Suchi walks out. Aarav comes. She asks if he is also staying till late. He says yes and says it's not safe for her to travel alone at this time, so he will drop her. Pihu says they have Suchi and will not go with Ladu's boys. Suchi repeats. Aarav asks what? Suchi says she would go on her scooter. Pan brings Arav's car keys. Aarav acts and asks if he lost car keys. How will he go home? Suchi says she will drop him. Gopal says Pihu is not seeing what he's seeing. Same song is playing in Suchi and Arav's ears. Aarav drives pillion with Suchi. Aarav reminisces their meeting. Pihu stops and says Arav's house is on the other side. Suchi stops and repeats same. Aarav says it came so early. Suchi says bye. Pihu says never sit on her scooter next time, else she would keep lizard on it. Suchi drives smiling. Aarav thinks it is Fumi thought, but if she likes him, she would turn. So she turns. Aarav gets happy. Gopal smiles and plays flute. Subo calls police. Police says they would find out who is behind it and leaves. Raki consoles Anandita and says she would leave now, angrily looking at Subo. Subo closes door as she leaves. Anandita says it is better he returns to Singapore instead of taking police protection always. Anyways, he did not show interest in Pihu's case. Subo looks at his hand bones and says she saw his concern. She's over expressing herself and he is not. She doubted that he murdered Pihu. He says he knew Pihu was murdered and it was not an accident. He doesn't know who killed her. When gas cylinder burst, only Anandita was present and used to tie her palu with Pihu's clothes doing puja and asked if she forgot or purposely did not tie it. Okay guys, thank you for watching today's episode on Can You See Me? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and stay tuned for more updates. Bye.